Hello, I'm Gene Montrestelli, the editor of TappingQA.com, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to share with you a fun little tool that I have created to approach the setup phrase for tapping in a slightly different way. Now, if you are unfamiliar with the setup phrase, as Gary Craig transitioned from his training in thought field therapy from Dr. Roger Callahan and started creating EFT, which is what most of the tapping that you and I know is based off of, is at the beginning of every single round, Gary prescribed that you would tap on the side of your hand, and as you tapped on the side of your hand, you'd say the phrase, "Even though I have this," insert whatever the issue is, "I completely love and accept myself." Now, as a practitioner, when I'm working with my clients, and as a tapper, when I'm tapping on my own issues, I do not start with that setup phrase. And it's not because I don't think that love and acceptance is important, but instead, I think that if we bring love and acceptance in too quickly, we can confuse the issue. So let's pretend for the moment that I'm tapping on a pain in my knee. And I go, "Even though I have this pain in my knee, I completely love and accept myself." Well, as I say that, my subconscious mind thinks, "No, you don't. You don't love yourself. You're never going to love yourself." Now, the pain in my knee might have nothing to do with self-acceptance. And now I've gone from an issue of the pain in my knee, and I've added the issue of self-acceptance on top of that. So I have a tendency to steer clear from using that at the beginning. Once we get into the meat of a tapping session and we need to lean into love and acceptance, absolutely we're going to tap on that. Now, as clients were pushing back in the early days, as practitioners were teaching them to say, "I completely love and accept myself," and I got lots of emails that said, "What if I can't say that?" And so what we started doing as practitioners is we started tailoring the setup phrase to make it a little softer, to make it easier to step into. Even though I have this issue, I give myself permission to believe that healing is possible. Even though I have this issue, I believe I'm not going to be stuck here forever. Even though I have this issue, I'm open to the possibility that I could accept myself with this issue someday. And so we're softening it up and we're softening it up. So what I did is once we had that, is I sat down one day and I made this really long list of all of the different versions of the setup phrase. And then I created a little piece of software. And so what the little piece of software looks like is this. It's embedded in the website. The link is directly below this video, either down in the comments or the web page that you were embedded inside of. And basically what this does is, as you look at this particular page, where you see it says 10 randomly generated setup phrases right here, everything below this repopulates itself every single time you refresh the page. The page is actually able to produce over 2,400 unique setup phrases as you navigate your way through all of this. And so let's just zoom in and look at these a little closer. So the first one is here. It says, "I know that I can find healing even though I have this issue and it feels hopeless. I accept the way I feel right now, even though if I heal this issue, I won't have an excuse for my life being messed up." And so there's all of these little subtle ways of going into it. And if you reload this page, it's going to give you 10 more setup phrases. And if you reload the page, it's going to give you 10 more setup phrases. And as you look at this particular website, if you go down to the comment section down below, lots of people have shared their favorite ones that populate from this. So now you have this fun little tool. And so this is the way that I like to use this tool. I will load the page up, and then what I will do is I will take these 10 phrases and I will tap through all of these 10 phrases. Now, as a side note, because it's just sentence fragments being glued together, they're not going to be grammatically perfect. So feel free to change the vocabulary to meet what makes sense for you. So then what you do is you tap through this particular thing, and this is what I like to do. I tap through all 10 of them, and then what I do after I've done that is I get out a piece of paper and I take the 2 or 3 setup phrases that I really, really liked, and I write them down on a sheet of paper. Then what I do throughout the rest of the day, every couple of hours, is I pull out this piece of paper, and what I do is I tap on the 3 phrases that really, really resonated with me. The next day, I get up, I go back to my setup phrase generator, I repopulate it, I tap on the 10 phrases that are there that have repopulated, and then I go back to my little sheet. And so for day 2, I then add the 1 or 2 phrases that really worked on day 2. Then as today goes along, I now have a list of 5 phrases that I can tap on. And oftentimes I'll take the phrase and I'll just tap it and tap it and tap it through multiple times in my body. And I now have 5 of them, and I might tap on all 5 of them. I might just choose 2 or 3 of them, but I tap on them. Then the next day I go back, I do the process again, and I add 3 more phrases. So now I'm in a circumstance where I have 8 phrases. But as I'm doing this, I might be in a situation where this phrase no longer resonates with me. And that's okay. So I just note that on my little sheet of paper. And so even though 2 days ago that phrase really, really resonated with me, it doesn't today. And so now, after even crossing that off, I have 7 possible tapping phrases that I can tap on over the course of the day. And so you can do this for multiple days. And what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up creating the perfect library of phrases for you to tap on to unpack all sorts of stuff that you are dealing with. So that is my approach to the setup phrase. That is a fun little tool that I've created to make it easier for you to navigate that particular thing. If you have any questions about this video, just down in the comment section down below, you can do that. Or if you send an email to support@tappingqanda.com, that's support@tappingqanda.com. I get all of those emails. I would love to hear your questions to make this tool easier for you. I hope you have a wonderful day. And until next time, I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.